did I just watch? Well, good morning, everybody. I'm not talking about the Trout fathead until tomorrow. I'm playing Cougs in a head-to-head. Be on the lookout for that. Today's Tuesday. That means we have MLB The Show 21 news. Another Fernando Tatis and coach video went up on Twitter, and it was all about March to October. So those of you offline players, you franchise people, March to October guys, this one's for you. March to October made its debut in MLB The Show 19. If you don't know what March to October is, it's basically a one-year franchise mode, a one-season mode where you only play the key points. So it's going to simulate you through, and you're going to jump in and play key moments. So you may get entered in the 7th inning of a tie or the 9th inning with the bases loaded, whatever it may be. It's going to let you jump in and play big key moments. It'll also let you do player locks, so you may randomly get stopped to, if you're using the Padres, for example, it may say, hey, you're going to use Manny Machado for a full game, and then depending on how good or bad you play with him, he will either be hot or cold moving forward after that game. The better you do on the missions, the more hot your team will be and the more wins it will result in. This was the main screen of March to October on MLB 19 and MLB 20. As the season goes along, you're going to complete missions, and the better you do, the better your team will be, because every time you do a mission correctly, you're going to cause the team to get hot, essentially, and they'll play better in those simulations. Struggle in a mission? They're not going to play as well. Do good on those player locks, and that player will get hot. Very simple, and you can get through a whole season in just a couple days. Usually takes anywhere between 8 and 15 hours. Also, the more missions that you fail will result in more missions for you to do. The game will give you more opportunities to get yourself back. If you miss out on missions, you will end up doing more in the long run. If you do better at the missions and you fly through the regular season, you will go through the mode faster. The better you play, the faster you go. Simple. The better you finish, the more rewards you get. Those rewards go to Diamond Dynasty. Or, of course, you can transfer the team at the end of the season over to your regular franchise mode and run a full franchise with the team. That's a pretty cool option, too. And they are expanding upon that, as we've seen in today's video. Let's talk about the details now that we're caught up on the mode for all you new people. First and foremost, the lineup screen that they added in here. We're going to have a lot more customization when it comes to the lineup. And as you can see on the top of the screen, there's a multiple years. Does this mean that March to October is going to be a multi-year mode? It very well could. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it is, though. It could just be giving you that information as reference for the people that want to transfer their March to October to franchise mode. Because again, you have the option to transfer your March to October team to franchise at the end of the year. But who knows? Maybe it's a multi-year mode now, and this is going to be the new franchise moving forward. Or just a second option. I don't know. They haven't confirmed that part yet. Regardless of the assumptions, though, it is cool seeing the new lineup screen because there wasn't much customization there for a lineup standpoint in this mode before. You were more so the GM versus the manager. This makes it more like both. They also seem to have cleaned up the trade screen a little bit. Here's one thing the March to October community talked about a lot last year. You didn't see a lot with like the prospects, right? It's a one-year mode to begin with, right? You're only going to get effective play from your top guys anyway, but you barely seen those guys getting called up. There's very little prospect effect in March to October. Looks like they're going to change that this year. You would see guys get called up last year, don't get me wrong, but it just seemed a little scarce. You didn't have any control over it. Now they're letting us have control over it. As you can see on the screen right here, giving us the option to call up Julio Rodriguez. Then we're going to switch over to this screen where it now shows Julio Rodriguez as a player lock. So after calling him up, you're then going to be able to hop into a game with him. And if you perform well, he'll get hot going forward after the call up. That would be huge. It also briefly showed us what the congratulations screen looks like after you do call a guy up. All of their stats and necessary information right there on the screen as needed. Nice. After each mission that you complete, you're gonna get a certain amount of fire emoji. They look like fire emojis. I'm gonna put an example up on the screen of what they're gonna look like in MLB The Show 21. This is a clip from the trailer on Twitter today. The better or worse that you do in those missions, again, is gonna determine how hot or cold that your team's gonna be moving on from that mission. But if you go like crazy, it's not just hot or cold. If you have an insane game, you're gonna get really hot. So the amount of fire emojis determines how hot your team could potentially get after that mission, and the amount of emojis that you get unlocked is determined on your play. So if you only get a hit or two, you didn't have a bad game. You might only get 1 or 2 of those emojis. But if you go 3 or 4 or 4 for 4 on a player lock, you're probably going to get the max amount of fire emojis, and your team's going to get really, or that player is going to get really hot moving forward. So there are both small windows and big windows of opportunity to get hot through those missions and player locks. And then that flame on the right side of the screen, it's a red circle on the screen in MLB 21. The bigger the circle, the hotter the team is, and the more successful missions you get in a row, you will progressively make that hot circle bigger, which will result in win streaks and moving up in the standings, or dominating them from day one, am I right? I'm just saying, take my money. You make Coach and Tatis plush dolls available to the public, I'll pay $50 a pop.
10 to 20 tops.
Take my wallet.
They will go right there in place of the hats, and I'll find somewhere else for those lovely things. They got to go right there above the fat heads. Come on.
Promo!
Sell the dolls. Not a ton of information today, but we did get some March to October news. And even though I'm a mostly online guy, I love that mode early on in the year, and I'm excited to play it. Check out the new features. If you're excited for March to October, hit the thumbs up down below. On Thursday, we're going to get another little video. Hopefully, we'll have more information in that one than this one. At some point sooner than later, we're going to start getting legend Easter eggs in these videos and these trailers. We may not see it until starting in March, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least one legend sneak peek or Easter egg in one of these Tatis coach videos before the end of February to get the ball rolling in the March. I'm just saying, be prepared. Might not happen, but if it does, keep your eyes peeled. If you're new around here, I cannot emphasize this enough. SDS puts so many Easter eggs and stuff in their little videos. Always be on the lookout. Even right now while I'm recording this, I'm concerned that I may have missed something before I upload. It's wild.
These people.
They make us go crazy. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Wager wheel tomorrow, and then I'll have another video up on Thursday covering the next Tatis and Coach video. Can we watch this one more time?